It's been 10 days now, and there's been some speculation that the killer has stayed true to his word, that he's gone away.
That's nice.
That he's stopped.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that it works that way.
Me too.
We were delighted when the audience came to season 1 of The Fall. When you launch a show, I think it's one of those strange unknowns whether or not you're going to attract an audience. It's something you can't expect, you can only hope for.
If we don't stop him, he will kill again.
And it reached a really substantial audience for BBC Two. And it seemed also to capture people's imaginations, and that focused largely on the two central characters, on Gibson and on Spector.
People loved the show, and we had a sneaking suspicion that they would, because they were certainly the best scripts that I've ever read, but the second series are even stronger. Are you ready to embrace the darkness?
I wasn't surprised by people's reaction because it was so obvious that it had such potential. It's unique, and people were completely kind of thrown by it.
Daddy, where have you been?
I guess The Fall, by virtue of identifying who the killer is, it becomes a psychological study. You can't rely on any of the traditional devices for creating tension. So there are no other suspects that you point the finger at.
It's the relationship between the viewer and the killer, as it becomes quite intimate. You know who he is. It's not just another crime drama, it's doing something slightly different with it.
We obviously left season 1 on a bit of a cliffhanger.
I called to say goodbye.
Where we'd taken them to is the moment where Gibson and Spector met, albeit over the phone for the first time.
It's never over for someone like you. It won't be over until I stop you.
It was something that seemed divided the audiences.
Hopefully the second season will vindicate that decision to not try and end the story within the first 5 hours, but to recognise that having a further 6 hours to explore the story would take us deeper into that psychological territory.
What's the pickled peppers that Peter picked?
That's really good. Just not too loud. We don't want to wake Mummy.
It's not directly continuous, but it does follow the story around about 10 days since the end of season 1.
All from Rostag's phone.
And what we're really excited about doing in that time period is showing how the police investigation has moved on, how they have got closer to finding out who this killer is, and of course through the unique insight that The Fall allows, we can see where Paul Spector is and what he's up to.
Do you live alone?
There's so much into that's unexpected and deeply disturbing. But again, with Allan, it doesn't feel opportunistic or gratuitous in any way.
It is a luxury, you know, to have such good material and be able to explore very real, very rounded characters.
What if we've exposed her to danger from that man by getting her to talk to you about the past?
That's the beauty of Allan's writing. Somehow it's there, even unspoken. It's just lingering around the page.
I think what Allan does so well in this second series is show how much of a demand an investigation like this takes on the police.
I don't want to die.
The longer the crimes go on and the less successful the police are in finding the perpetrator, the greater the psychological pressures they come under. Together, of course, with the kind of pressures that Spector comes under as well.
Spector, of course, coming to terms with the fact that the heat is on him, and yet at the same time he still has his dark fantasies, but it's not as easy for him to live them out as it was before. What we're particularly interested in seeing is just how far we can push those characters.
I've always tried to write strong, independent, intelligent, complex female characters.
I'm a Met officer. At least that was the last time I checked. I mean, I think that he drew such a clear character from the beginning. As much as I've become her and she's become me, Gibson, it's ultimately all Allan.
Stella, shining star. It's a beautiful night. It's a beast of a character to take on. There's a human side to him, and there's the father, and there's the husband, and there's the grief counsellor, and that is equally important to try to get that across as there is the sinister psychopath side to him. And you've betrayed me. You don't have to be the sort of creepy guy who lives in the basement at the end of the street. You know, you can be a very seamless part of society, but have this side to you that is hugely destructive.
And honestly, there's no one better qualified than me.
It's fascinating, of course, seeing Paul Spector hide in plain sight. We know that that compulsion that drives him is something that he's wrestling with internally.
Regardless of what a character is doing, the audience has to be on your side.
My mother was Catholic.
What, the woman that killed herself? Abandoned you?
Spector has to fascinate on some level, even if he's a thoroughly reprehensible individual. And the fascination for me is trying to explore the real psychology of individuals like him, how it is that some men can commit crimes of violence against women. A certain kind of toxic, misogynistic view of women. I neither wanted to sensationalize it, but nor did I want to sanitize it. And that's a very difficult path to tread. And the attempt was to get Gibson to explore those ideas and to present counter-arguments.
Do you think he was planning to attack you?
Is that how you see yourself? As my protector?
Hopefully make it absolutely clear to the audience that the show is rooting for Gibson and her attempts to stop this man from perpetrating the crimes. Which is not to say there isn't a fascination surrounding Spector, particularly in Jamie's portrayal.
So I think it's going to be a bit more of a psychological battle with Gibson and Spector with each other, but also with their own demons, their inner demons.
It was obvious in the first series that Allan knew what he wanted visually, and I was really pleased when I heard that he was directing the second series. I think that nobody could ever know it better than he, so it seemed completely logical that he would take it on.
I mean, aside from being a writing genius, he's an exceptional director. He's just such a generous soul that really comes across in the way that he relates with people, and just wonderful to be around. It's a luxury for an actor.
Working in England and Ireland, it's like having good old fish and chips. It satisfies your soul, that, you know, in a way that no other production can. It's a lot of fun, great sense of humour.
We've made life difficult for ourselves in places. We had a pretty grueling schedule over 16 weeks involving a lot of night shooting, so we were outside in some pretty tough conditions at times. But as always, as we found with season 1, they're an incredibly hard-working crew, and they would always go the extra mile for us.
It's a real honour and a privilege to be involved in it, and this crew and cast is fantastic. There's a passionate feel about it. There's a real level of care from everybody involved, and I think that's when you know it's something special.
The crew that we have is one of the best crews I think I've ever worked with.
Everyone, I think, embraced the idea of the second season as an opportunity to build on the work they'd done on season 1 and to keep it fresh and exciting and alive. I think Rory saw it as an opportunity to develop the look of the show.
You're always tempted to change things, but you also have to be kind of faithful to what you've established. Al was keen to bring in a few set-piece shots. In the first series, we had a shot that went all over the Spector home, across the ceiling. But we took that idea and we developed it so that now the camera comes from the attic, goes down into Spector's bedroom and follows him down a corridor into the very back of the house.
One of the central ideas of this season in Allan's scripts was the idea of how Spector's destructive desires start to decay the world around him.
Tried to play with it slightly subliminally, let's say, on some of the sets where the Spector character appears, and there seems to be an element of danger that we've tried to introduce a little bit of red onto the set. Very astute fans might spot that.
We're really excited for all audiences around the world to see The Fall. They would seem to get a real thrill out of watching this hunt.
You can't see past the killer.
All you ever do is the best work you're capable of doing. What you're always hoping for is an audience that watches and stays with it and appreciates it, I guess.
Do you really think the killer will identify himself so easily?
If you can perform the material even to a mediocre standard, then you should have the audience on your side. The first series, and I've managed to attract a strong audience, I think an ever-growing audience.
There's a strangler on the prowl.
And you think it's me?
I think people will be sort of itching to see it, as I kind of am as well.
Shh. Don't wake Mummy.
I think audiences want to see complex characters. As much as you hate what he does, you do love the tender moments that he has with his daughter.
Everything's gonna be all right. We'll always be together.
I think when you create those kind of multi-layered, interesting characters, it creates this level of intrigue and mystery, which I think audiences want. They want to kind of have lots of questions, and they want to see nuanced performances. They want to see something original, and I think the Four kind of gives them all of that.
There's been a development, ma'am.
They frequently appear to be charming, intelligent, charismatic. The key word is appear.
You can't see past the killer. I want all lines of inquiry looked at.
It's not procedural, it's personal.
There's suffering all around us. Why not take some pleasure from it?